Hi everybody, I hope you're good. Let's have a look at Nasdaq 100. And yeah, before we get into the actual chart, I just wanted to mention that the last week we had was a crazy week. I think if you are a day trader and managed to get some profits out of that week, good for you and kudos to you. It was really a crazy week. I mean, think about it, guys. We had the Fed interest rate decision as well as the ECB interest rate decision. To add to that, we also had Alphabet, Amazon, and Apple releasing their season's earnings, right? And just on the last day of the week, on Friday, we had both NFP as well as ISM manufacturing news, right? So last week was a crazy week, and I'm just hoping that in the next week things will be much better, right? And also, guys, just remember, if you had a bad trading week, just reset and refocus, and let's start again on Monday, guys. Let's start again on Monday. Let's pick up our socks and let's continue. Anyway, let's not waste any further time. Let's get into the actual analysis of Nasdaq 100, as I said, and we are on the weekly chart, as you guys can see. And previously, guys, I spoke about how we have this inverted head and shoulders pattern, with the side being the left shoulder, this being the head, and this being the right shoulder. To add to that, guys, I'd also spoken about how we have this W structure, which also has a neckline more or less at that point, guys. And I said that should price close to the upside of that neckline, we would then wait for the market to head back to the neckline, and at the neckline is where we would look for potential buying opportunities. To add to that, guys, just remember that also price is testing a very strong level of resistance as we speak, and that is because we've had multiple rejections in that zone, as you guys can see, right? And as much as I'm saying that we would love to see price coming back to the neckline over here, and that at this point we should be looking for buying opportunities, what may possibly also happen is that the market may actually push further down, right? Because as I said, this is a very strong level of resistance, and at this level we also have a very strong level of support, which is the neckline of this W structure, right? I'm just gonna add my neckline at that point. And apologies, guys, for the background noise. There seems to be some dogs barking. Apologies for that. Just bear with me. Anyway, let's have a look here. Let's have a look. There we go. Right. So this is my neckline of that W structure that I spoke about, which is over here, right? And as I said, guys, we also have that resistance area at around this level, more or less. And just remember that support and resistance are not lines; they are more areas, right? So what we could say, in other words, is that, just bear with me, guys. We could say that this whole area over here is a very strong area of resistance, right? I hope you guys can see that, guys. To add to everything that I've just said, guys, remember I had also spoken about the fact that we have a lot of stop losses that are sitting in and around this region, and that is because we have this W structure over here, and that a lot of traders and investors usually buy on the second leg of the W structure, and they place their stop losses just below. To add to that, because we also have this inverted head and shoulders pattern, we also have a lot of traders and investors buying at this point and placing their stop losses just below, right? So just keep that in the back of your mind. Another thing that is also very much important is the fact that we have this candlestick over here. It is a bearish candlestick with a small body and quite a long lower wick, which tells us that we have a lot of liquidity at that point. And remember that liquidity represents money that needs to be triggered by the market at one point or another. Similarly, we have another one at this point, which is carrying a lot of liquidity. So in conclusion, we could say that there's a lot of money sitting at this point, which needs to be triggered by the market at one point or another. So it is quite possible that the market may push further down, disregarding this very important level of support over here, and pushing all the way down to grab all of those stop losses, and then only possibly pushing further up. Just keep that in the back of your mind. It's not important at this stage, but just keep that in the back of your mind. Another thing that I see, guys, in regards to the weekly chart that is also very much important is the fact that we have this candlestick over here. It too is a liquidity candlestick. It is a bullish candlestick with a small body and quite a long upper wick. Also, at this point, it is not really important, but you just need to keep that in the back of your mind because, as I said, guys, we have this very nice head and shoulders pattern, or inverted head and shoulders pattern, and we can see that we could say it started over here and it might end over here, which means that price may come to this level to trigger that liquidity as well. Anyway, from here what I'm going to do is head down to the daily chart, and here we are on the daily chart. Let's have a look, guys. Let's have a look. What do we see on the daily chart? On the daily chart, guys, I'm just going to add my daily channel, so just bear with me, guys, while I do so. My daily channel, I would add it in this manner, more or less. Just bear with me, guys. There we go, more or less. Right, there we go. Just to recap, guys, remember we spoke about how the market at this point in time is actually in the process of testing this very strong level of resistance, and that is because we've had multiple rejections at that point, right? And we might potentially see a retracement of sorts, and perhaps to this level over here, which is the neckline of this very nice W structure. And at this point we might potentially look for buying opportunities. Anyway, let's zoom in and have a closer look in terms of what's happening in the market. What else do we see, guys? Another thing that I see, guys, that is also very much important is that at this level over here we have this candlestick over there, which is a bullish candlestick with a small body and quite a long upper wick, right? And it tells us that at the top where it ends we have a lot of liquidity sitting at that point, and that the market needs to grab that liquidity, right? So I'm just going to mark this level over here because it is extremely important, as a lot of money is sitting at that point, right? So what else do we see, guys? Another thing that I see is that we have the other candle that is next to that liquidity candlestick, which is a pin bar, and it tells us that we may be getting ready for a reversal of sorts, and at least to this area over here, right? It's a reversal candlestick in my humble opinion, and we might potentially see the market push further down to around this level to test this very strong level of support, which is the neckline of that W structure that I spoke about, guys. Anyway, let's proceed. So what else do we see, guys, on this particular chart? At this point I really don't see much, so what I'm going to do is head down to the H4 chart, and here we are on the H4 chart. Let's have a look. On the H4 chart, I'm just going to start off by actually fixing my daily channel somewhat. There we go. And then I'm going to just add my daily channel, my H4 channel as well. Just bear with me, guys. Let's see, how would I add my H4 channel? I would add it in this manner, more or less. Just bear with me, guys. Let's have a look. Let's see. I would add my channel more or less in this manner. There goes my channel more or less, right? Let's have a look. There we go, right? And here we are, guys, on the H4 chart. What do we see on the H4 chart that we should be paying attention to? On the H4 chart, I see this area over here, right? It's a very, very important area. Why do I say so? It's a very important area because we have what seems to be an M formation forming, right? However, we can see that the neckline is yet to be broken to the bottom side, which is over here, more or less, right? And should price close below this neckline, chances are that the market would push further down to around this level, at least to test this very important neckline, or a very strong level of support. And remember, it's the neckline of that huge W structure that we spoke about on the daily chart, right, guys? Another thing that confirms that chances are that the market will move further down is how the last two candlesticks close, right? Or rather, the last three candlesticks, right? We can see that we have what seems to be a bearish engulfing candlestick pattern at this point, right? Which confirms that chances are the market is going to push further down to around this level. Having said that, guys, in fact, let me just add my neckline. I'll come back to that point. Just bear with me, guys. So we could say that this is the neckline, more or less. Just bear with me. This is the neckline, more or less, of that M structure or double top, right? Having said all that, guys, as much as I'm saying that chances are that the market will push further down to around this level, what may possibly happen is, because remember, on the daily chart I spoke about that candlestick over here, that is carrying all of that liquidity at that point, right? And remember that liquidity represents money that needs to be triggered by the market, right? What may possibly also happen is that price or the market from where it is, as much as we have this double top, may actually push further up, because this is actually a very strong level of support as well. This neckline is a very strong level of support. As I said, the market may push further up to trigger that liquidity, and then only perhaps push further down to again test this neckline again. And in that case, it would give us a very nice triple top, right? As you guys can see, it would give us a very nice triple top. And then what we would do is wait for the market to actually close below this area, which is the neckline of that potential triple top, and then again wait for it to head back to the neckline to test it. And at this point is where we would look for potential selling opportunities, right? And as much as I'm saying that chances are the market may push to this level over here, which is the neckline of that huge W structure that I spoke about on the daily chart, just also keep in mind that we have this opposing trend line over here, and that the market may actually bounce off of this level over here, only to push further up, right? So just keep that in the back of your mind, right? Anyway, that is it, guys. And as far as my analysis goes at this point in time, in as far as buying or selling, I really don't see any opportunities. As I said, there is scope for the market to push further up to around this level, and that is because we have a lot of money sitting at this point. However, having said that, I would love to see price closing below this neckline and then heading back to the neckline to test it. If it does so, at this point is where I would look for potential selling opportunities, and my take profit would be around this area over here, right? But also just keeping in mind that we have this trend line over here, and the market may just only touch or rather reject at this area, only to push further up, right? So that is it, guys, and as far as my analysis goes, and as far as US tech is concerned. I hope you understand everything that I've just described. If you have any further questions, just let me know in the relevant section, and just remember to like the content as well as to subscribe to the channel if you do indeed like the content. Peace out, guys.